Hello and welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. I'm your host, Gabe Peterson, and this is the place investors go to gain actionable advice, learn about current market trends, and hear war stories from other professional investors out there in the field today. Before we get started, I have two quick housekeeping items for you. First, if you like this episode, we would very much appreciate a like, subscribe, and share. It is the best way to support the show and keep it running far into the future. Second, if you're a new investor looking to get started in real estate or an experienced investor looking to take your investing to the next level, I've created an ebook just for you that will cover how to find deals that are actually deals, how to finance those deals with little to no money down, and how to exit those deals for maximum value. On top of that, I throw in an insane amount of free bonuses that you'll have access to once you buy the ebook. All I charge is our admin costs to keep this show running. So if you're serious about real estate investing and want to create both active and passive income as an investor, head on over to the website at therealestateinvestingclub.com and click on the button that says get the ebook in the upper right-hand corner to grab yourself a copy. With that said, let's dive right in. Today we have a very special guest with us, ready to drop some investor knowledge on you. So buckle up, grab your pen and paper, and enjoy the ride. All right, we are live. Today we have with us Preston Weekes. Preston is a professional business builder, strategist, closer, and expert marketer. He has adopted the mission to make the world work for 100% of humanity. His personal goal is to leave the people he interacts with happy, fulfilled, and complete as we make massive positive changes across the world. And he asks you to join his journey in reversing the unacceptable failure rate of the private business. Preston, thank you very much for hopping on the show today. How are you?
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me here. And it's just fun to be here and talk to people and help them today through challenges and things that they're having.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm super excited to have you here. I was reading through your bio. You have great experience at helping businesses, reach that next level of success. Before we dive into that, I want to hear about your story though. So to get us started, why don't you tell us and the people listening and watching what you do and how you got started down that path in the first place?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll tell you a little bit about how I got started and why I've been able to work with people, amazing people like the people I co-authored my new book, How to Be Up and Down Times, Mark Victor Hansen and Mitzi Perdue, who's one of the owners of the third largest chicken company in the world. But
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, how I got there, back to my journey was starting from basically by myself. I was trying to figure out how to pay for college, and I'm a car nut. I've been a car nut since I was a little kid, and so I always tell people to do what you love, and luckily I fell into that early. I was trying to figure out how to pay for college, and I bought and sold cars to pay my way through school. And by the time I graduated from that, I couldn't get a job that actually paid me more. And so,
were you just buying cars from off of the paper and Craigslist and stuff, and then flipping them?
So when I was younger, ever since I could drive, I'd buy and sell cars online or different things like that. Well, they didn't really have online, so it was more the paper back then. But to get a cooler car, so because I love cars, so
trading up in the car world,
get one and up a little bit, get a better one, and get a good deal. And so I do that, and then kind of figured that out of my passion for cars. And then I started actually officially being a car dealer. So I went to the auction. So the first time I went to the auction, actually, I didn't start with much. I had one $1,600 1999 Honda Passport. And I got 10 minutes out of the auction, and the thing overheated. It had a bad head gasket. I chalked up to a learning curve, and I go, okay, all right, I've got to figure this out because I put my money on the line. I fixed it, got my money out, made it okay. Bought another car, sold it, kept reinvesting in myself until I could get 2 cars, and then I could get 10 cars, and then I could get, and then I grew it from there, and I ended up having 15 different car dealerships and a bunch of different other, companies that spun off of that, like finance companies and, paint shops and mechanic shops and things like that. So it's been quite an adventure, and it's taught me a lot, down that road, and basically led me to where I am today with Operations X. So Operations X is to multiply your business. It's a business solutions company. So I like to help people that are trying to navigate that road I've been down, that road of figuring out those different steps of a business, from going from one person to go to two people is a big leap. To go to 10 people, to go to 50 people in multiple locations. Those those steps as businesses grow, and how to deal with that, and how to navigate that, or how to get there, how to get to the next place. If you're at a place in your company where you've got 20 people, and you feel like you've maxed out and you're not quite sure how to get to that next step, that's where we come in and help. And I help consult with businesses to get into those goals and things like that. But yeah, I love helping people and helping companies, and that's one of the greatest things that I've been able to do as a business owner is provide opportunity for people, and to provide jobs for people, and that connection to those people that I've worked with, I just appreciate so much. And so I've been fortunate, and been able to work through a lot of different things, and people have ups and people have downs, and anyone that's been successful has had all of those things. But it's what you keep doing. And so I have this mantra of relentless improvement.
I love it. No, I love that. And I really like your story. I mean, you hear of so many people who get started in business because, they're going through a hard time and they just need, their back is up against the wall. Yours wasn't really like that, but I like that you started with your passion. Like you liked cars. It was something that you liked, and you just got started down that path. You started buying one, fixing it, flipping it. And, one thing led to another, to the point where you actually had car dealerships. And I really like that avenue of kind of a storyline, because, many people are thinking about starting their own business. Maybe they have already started their own business and they're looking to grow, but they don't know how to take that first step or how to take the next step. And, as your story is kind of proven, many times when you're working within your passion, within something that you really care about, the next step just kind of appears in front of you. And so really like how you got started there. And so going into Operations X, it sounds like you right now, you guys are actually working with small, medium-sized business owners to improve their operations and expand. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So I'll come in and I can consult with companies. We can provide. So I have an office set up actually in the Philippines. So it goes back to actually 2010 was when I first started dealing with remote employees and remote workers. And now what's interesting is, and now with the whole COVID thing, the remote workers and remote employees, the idea has been proven, concept has been proven, because everyone had to go home and work from home. And so now I don't have to tell that. I don't have to teach that side of it. Now it's more of a, okay, are you willing to work with someone in a different area, in a different country, those types of things. And so I have an office in the Philippines. So we place employees for U.S. companies. So we focus on 4 pillars. We do virtual assistants, we do marketing, we do calls, and we do accounting. And there's a million different jobs that spin out of those, positions, whether it's sales or, whether it's, virtual executive assistant, or a whole office, front end assistant, or different things like that. But we can help guide you. But what I tell companies, or what I, do is teach that efficiency, use the Pareto principle, which is like that 80-20 rule. So 20% of your business, if you look at it really, there's 20% of the work that actually makes money, and there's 80% of the work that's just kind of there that you do, that's a necessity, it's a function of the business, but it's not anything that actually makes money. So like you and I on your podcast, we're talking right now, like that's the interaction, that's like the piece, but there's all this back end, if you take it off,
setting up the website, blah blah blah,
advertising, you do the graphics, you do the the planning, you do all these things, you do the interviews for your people, or whatever. There's all this back end, work that needs to happen to get to that front end piece. And most businesses are like that. And so we'll take that and we'll look at your company and go, okay, what is that 20% that actually makes your company money? And can we take your core team that you have, on the ground or in your office or whatever your high touch team, and have them work on that part 100% of the time, and take the 80% and take it to lower cost back end team. And then if we did that and it's not a big expense add into your company, then we just multiplied your company 500%, because everyone's focusing on what's actually mattering with making money in the company and doing that that thing. So I was able to incorporate that in my car dealerships, and my sales team would come in. We do back end things. We put ads out at night, have 300 ads posted, and then at night the sales team comes in the morning and the customers just show up, and so they could deal with the customer and that interaction and that quality relationship, and get the sale to happen because they can listen to the customer instead of having to focus on all these other things like getting ads done and getting so many calls done and this and that. So it worked out, and it gave us that leading edge against all the other dealerships and put us ahead.
Yeah, and that's it's something that I personally really relate to, because I'm in real estate on the other side of this, and I also have the podcasts, and there is a lot of work that goes up to the point to where you're actually doing the thing that you are supposed to do. Like I'm supposed to be interviewing people and having a podcast, or I'm supposed to be closing deals and managing properties. But there's a lot of work that gets up to that point. That really is just busy work, man. It's like I do it, but it's killer. Especially for releasing podcasts. There's a billion and one things to do. Yeah, that are just
So you either have to pay for the automation or this or that, or program do it, or have someone do it. So there's different things. So we can we look at all the solutions, and you look at like realtors or people in real estate. I help a lot of people in real estate. And you have all that busy work, first advertising yourself, social media. Social media is so time consuming. But you have to be there. If you're not there, you're not relevant. Yeah. And so who's going to sit there and who's going to deal with that? Are you going to sit there for 8 hours a day to keep up with your competitor and out market them or outsmart them or outpush them? Or can you hire someone that's a professional, that's a college grad and has multiple years of experience for most of we just do them full-time employees. We pay them well, we take care of them, we give them good benefits and all these different things like that. But most of our employees run from $1,400 to $2,100 a month, and that's it all in. No office, no desk, no computer, no payroll, no managers. We have site managers. We have one site manager per 15 employees, but you run them. So we make sure they are who they say they are. We make sure they show up and they work, and then so you're actually getting the full value out of them, because that's the biggest thing. The breakdown we've seen is with remote staff, if they have different if they're not in a controlled environment like we are sometimes, and this isn't always the case, but it happens often, they're working for 4 or 5 other people. And so you're not actually getting that, that full value out of them. So you got a support team, around you to make your success happen. You've got a coach here to, guide you through your success. But yeah, with realtors, to handle the calls, to do appointment setting, I've hired setters, just straight, setters that call certain types of people for realtors and say, hey, I'm calling on behalf of Gabriel, and I'm his assistant. He does this, this, and this, and he'd like to meet with you. Would you like to meet with him at this time? He'd like to talk, and just fill your own calendar, fill your pipeline, all these creative things that you can do when you have the ability to do that, or the ability to multiply yourself and take away the things that you don't want to.
Yep, absolutely. And that is another big thing. I mean, with being an entrepreneur, anybody who's started a business, who's tried to launch their own thing, you know that managing your time is important, but also managing your energy. So if you're constantly engaging in those activities that are just draining to you, that really do not liven you up, then your workday is just it's gonna drag on, and you're not gonna be at your best. So being able to pass off those tasks that are draining to you that may not be draining to another person is super useful. So I can definitely see that value. I mean, there are a lot of entrepreneurs who do listen to this show, and so I would like to just go into the kind of the nitty gritty. You've already mentioned social media being a big time suck for entrepreneurs, and I 1000% relate with that. I was doing it myself for a long time, but you're right. You do need to have social media as a pillar in your marketing strategy. It's not really a question. You have to have it out there for you to be really relevant. In whatever industry you're in, social media is going to be a pillar in your marketing strategy. So go into kind of how put the hat on of a small, medium-sized business owner who's kind of doing everything on their own, and what is the process that they would take to, one, find a good VA, and then two, and hire them. Like what are they looking for? What kind of I don't know, just take us through your process. How does that usually work?
Yep. So yeah, and I'll tell you, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can go online and you can find people. Like I was saying, there's several different websites where you can go and you can search people that are virtual assistants or different types of skill sets, and go find those people, and they'll have like an hourly rate or 20 hours a week or whatever. You can buy a certain amount of time and do kind of a contract thing. What we do is we do all that for you. So we're kind of an all-inclusive. So we make sure it's done right. We make sure it's done quality. We actually have an HR team that's based in the Philippines. So our team goes out and interviews the clients, and we line up usually like the top 2, maybe top 3 best clients, depending on what the client's looking for. We also interview the client to see what specific VA skills they need, because any VA, it's all different. It depends on what you're doing. Are you having them write a lot? Are you having them do social media? Are you having them do a broad different spectrum of things? Are they going to have to answer the phone? A lot of the people, that's what's nice about the Philippines, a lot of people speak really clean English. So we have a lot of luck with people on phone calls there. That's why you see a lot of call centers and things like that based out of the Philippines, because the people, pretty much anyone that's educated there speaks English. And so most people there speak English. I mean, it's really easy to find that in their Western culture, predominantly Christian. So they have a lot of things that line up with culture in the United States, and so it's easier to kind of bridge those two societies and demographics together to get work done. So we've had a lot of success, but yeah, I've been doing it since 2010. But yeah, looking at that and kind of to what you're saying, what you need to look for, if you're going out and doing it yourself, you just want to be cautious and keep a close eye on what's happening and make sure your productivity stays high. It doesn't drop down in 2 or 3 months when you're not watching anymore and they go start working for someone else. But you can have really, really great luck. You can find really great people too. But yeah, that's where we focus on that long-term relationship, because we also, on the other side, we give a great place for them to work. We pay them well. We give them benefits. We give them company parties. We give them annual bonuses. So we take care of all that and include it in just a flat month-to-month cost. So you can put your payroll. This is what's great is with us, you can put your payroll on a credit card. And so if you're a startup or if you're getting going, and if you need a couple months of runway to build up into a company, you can put a virtual assistant or some role, a call person or salesperson on a credit card to get those sales built up those first couple months, and get your business going, or get you through that transition period if you're an existing company looking to expand up, your employee base, so you don't have to come out of pocket, or different creative things like that. And so I don't ever recommend going into too much debt, with companies. I always like to stay cash positive if you can, and work your company, work your money, build your wealth. Because if you're not doing that, then you can make money. But if you're building a business that doesn't have debt, then you're building wealth. So
Yep, absolutely. You have quite a bit of just business entrepreneurial experience yourself. So, you've gone through the ups and downs, kind of like what the trajectory is. I remember when I was just first getting started, I just had like a vision of just me running to the top and not, no issues, just like getting there, no problem. And then obviously you get into it and you start hitting road bumps and all that stuff. So I love hearing people's stories about, the big lessons that they learned. So what have been some really, big lessons that you've kind of picked up over the years that you really did not see going into it when you started, so many years ago in that car dealership?
Yeah. Well, one of my big lessons that I learned, that is one that always sticks out in my mind, is a time where I was, kind of expanding. I was growing. I, switched around a couple different dealerships. I'm running 2 locations at a time. I had 11 employees, and I was just, things were going really good in the company. Everything was great, but I was just going crazy. I was just working all the time, and I realized I was there one day at work, and everyone's doing their thing, and everyone's grabbing me. My assistant's grabbing me. How do I do this, Preston? I just jump over there and I just do it because I'm in a panic. I'm in a hurry, and my accountant grabs me and goes, "Hey, what's this? And can you review it?" And I go check these things off, and I do it. And then the detail guy's like, "How do I get this stain out?" And I go over there and I, go, "Oh, I do this. I just spray the stuff on. I do it." And and then I realized, looking back at that and reflecting, I go, shoot, I'm just doing this stuff. I'm like literally just jumping in, I'm getting it done, and I'm not taking the time to teach these people to do it and let them do it, and also to let them fail, because I knew I could do it. They're like the hard things, the challenges, whatever. I knew I could just do it fast, get it done. I'm kind of, sometimes I get impatient maybe, or just want to get on that like aggressive, CEO or entrepreneur, spirit. When you're in the heat of things and you want to get things done and you're in that productive go mode, then you're in the zone, and so you just do it. You do it. Well, you have to actually, as a leader, you actually have to step back from doing, and you have to teach them to be fishermen, and so they could go out and do their own thing, and they can actually build, they can actually learn, and so you can actually multiply yourself, so you can actually eventually leave it, even though, and maybe it's not as good as you do it, or maybe it's not as fast as you do it, or maybe it's going to take them a month or 4 months to get up to where they should be, where you want them to be, doing it. You need to put that investment in that person so that they can do that and you can leave it. Because I had built a big, what I thought was a business with 11 employees. It was growing, and really I just built 12 jobs for myself. And so that's part of that, that you say that idea of work on your business, not in your business, and that's part of that shift. And sometimes we have to do that and step back and look at what we're doing as leaders or owners or managers or those positions.
Yeah, no, I laughed because I've been there too, and I it's a really good lesson to learn, and kind of a hard one to master because it's difficult. You're right. You get into the do mode, and it's hard to like take a step back and go into the teach mode.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the E-Myth Mastery book. I read that so many years ago, and yeah, great advice, great lesson learned. And hopefully it's something that everybody once they go from the craftsman to the business owner can master over time. Well, Preston, it's a quick podcast, 20 minutes, and we are at the end. It goes by so quickly. So we're going into the quick question round. This is where I ask quick questions and you give me quick answers. Starts off
where I fumble around and go through 50 different answers that I'm steaming through in my mind. I've never been a quick answer person. We'll see how I do. We'll see how.
No worries. It's as quick as you can as you can be.
I'm too methodical. I'm a logical. I say I'm an intensely logical, creative person. But
I love it. I love it. So the first one's easy. It's books. I'm a big bookie. I like reading books. You wrote a book, so you have to have read books before. So tell me, what are your two favorite books? One for business and one for life wisdom.
ooh, business. I mean, pretty much everything I read is for business. But I mean, I love 4-hour work week, and that goes right up my pipeline. The whole Tim Ferriss thing, and I love E-Myth, those types of things. If for life, if you go back to a staple, I'm into a lot of that positive self-help and those types of things. I'd say if you want a solid staple, that's just the Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich.
Oh yeah.
Is one that's you can go back and find 100 different million references, from that, rereading that over and over again. So.
Yep. Great recommendations. And also, shoot, I forgot the title of your book, but I got to give you a plug right now because we're talking about books.
So yeah, how to be up and down times. Yeah, you can check me out too at operationsx.com. It's operations with the plural and the letter X. And you can find my book on there. It's on Amazon and all those.
Perfect. Yeah. How to be up and down times. I love the title. I mean, I feel like you should buy it just because of that. How to be up and down times. It's so pertinent, especially to today when it's August 25th. We're kind of in the middle of Corona time. So, you can be up in any downtime, and definitely sounds like a good read.
Yeah, that's why we wrote it. And it aligns kind of with what you do on this podcast, but it covers your mind, body, and soul. There's basically 3 kind of pillars that we cover because we look at it holistically. It all starts with yourself. If you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of someone else, and you don't have the energy to go manifest beyond. So we need to take care of ourselves, our mind, and our bodies, and our spirits, and our everything we can.
Absolutely. No, yeah. When I've been on a number of podcasts, and they always ask me like, what's one thing that you would do for success? And I always say, actually just get exercise, just go out and work out.
Yeah.
Which actually leads me to my next question, which is habits. Habits are the foundation of our life. So give us if you could pinpoint one habit that you feel has contributed the most to your life today, what would that habit be?
So, one habit. Yeah, I've got some mindsets and then some different things. One that's kind of a habitual mindset is just to not be unstoppable. Not be afraid to do anything, and that really is kind of a habit. But if you go back to habits, one thing that I've really gotten into is actually getting on. There's a cool one that some people know about, some people don't. But if you look at a lot of successful people going back and learning through mentors and different things like that, a lot of them wake up early. And there's a thing called circadian rhythm, where you kind of, the basic idea for those who don't know about it is to follow kind of the sun and be awake when the sun's out and you sleep when it's down. And but I've done that living in Arizona. I moved down to Scottsdale, Arizona. And I'm in the beautiful desert out here. I love to go hiking and biking, and the mornings are so beautiful, but it's hot day. But not 8 months out of the year, it's perfect. But right now it's hot day. So I have to go out in the morning. I have to get up. I go out at 5 in the morning, but it's amazing to get up and to experience that. And now I've got on that circadian rhythm. I've been doing it for years, and it helps me to get going. It helps me to get started. It helps me to get aligned. I wake up without an alarm at between 5 and 5:30 every day. It kind of depends on the time of year and some of those things. But yeah, so I would say that's a great habit if you want like a hardcore habit to try.
Awesome. I love it. Get up with the sun and go to bed when the sun sets.
Or roughly after. I give myself a little time, but going to bed somewhere.
Yeah, it'd be hard to follow if you're living in northern Norway or Alaska or something. But other than that, I love it.
Yeah, not recommended if you're in Alaska in certain areas.
Awesome. Going on to the next question. So if you could sit down with the Preston, picture yourself, you're in high school, you just flipped your first car, you got that check, and you're like, damn, I'm making money. If you could go back to that Preston, sit down with him, look him in the eye, give him one piece of advice going forward, what would that be?
I would say, one that's kind of, meaningful is to don't be afraid to fail. I think if you want to get into something that's kind of a heartfelt, thing, okay, we get, so I've always been such a positive go-getter. I've been, my whole family's been kind of like that. We're kind of extreme, positive people, sports people. We're all huggers. Get around us, we're loud, we're playing games, and we're doing things. But my family's amazing. But I've been of that mindset ever since I was young to go, you can do anything. You're the best. You can, win. We've had this kind of, winner mindset, which is great, which is positive. But at the same time, sometimes people, can, because everyone wins and everyone loses. And sometimes those failures can devastate people or they can change their lives. And so, I've had challenges that affected me when I've been up, but then had challenges go down, and learning to overcome those and go, oh yeah, if you fail, it doesn't actually mean that you're a failure.
I love it. No, I love it. Don't be afraid to fail. And that's really good advice for people just getting started, because, making that first leap is so hard. It's just so hard to like jump off the cliff. But if you're not afraid to fail, it's not as big of an issue. And you can it's great when the first failure is actually really great, because then you learn, I'm still alive. I can still get shit done. So
yeah, it's as a parachute. I survived.
Exactly.
I have another one.
Awesome. Well, hey, we are at the end of the podcast here. So first of all, thank you for hopping on here. I appreciated the conversation. I'm sure there's a ton of people listening and watching who want to reach out and talk to you. So what would be the best way for them to get in contact?
Yeah, you can reach me at operationsx.com. You can email me at support@operationsx.com. It's support at operations, plural, letter X to multiply your business. operationsx.com. And check me out on LinkedIn too. So LinkedIn and Energy Guy on there.
There you go.
That's Energy Guy. So
Perfect.
I own a company, and I've done a bunch of different things. So.
All right. So that is operations with an SX.com. I will put that URL in the show notes below. So if you want to reach out to Preston, you can go there. I will also put his LinkedIn profile down there. So go through, click it, and say hi to Preston. Again, Preston, thank you for hopping on the show. I had a blast talking to you. For everybody who is here with us today, thank you guys for showing up. We couldn't do this without you. Again, the best way to support the show is just to subscribe, like, and share this episode with your friends and family. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Thanks. Take care.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode as much as I enjoyed putting it on, and we're able to pull some actionable advice that you can apply in your own investing today in the field. Before you go, we have a gift for you. If you're a new investor looking to get started, or an established investor looking to take your investing to the next level, I've created an ebook just for you, available on our website. This ebook will cover how I was able to create both active and passive income in real estate with very little money to start with. In it, I will address the 3 most often cited obstacles new and veteran investors run into by showing you how to find deals that are actually deals, how to finance a deal with little to no money down, and how to exit those deals for maximum value. And if you get the ebook today, I am throwing in a bundle of bonuses, 7 of them to be exact. The first one will be the off-market lead generation blueprint, which will take you through the exact systems and processes we use to generate off-market leads like clockwork, which is the most important skill when it comes to creating wealth in real estate. The second bonus is the A to Z REI systems and vendors guide, which will allow you to peek under the hood of our business and see the exact tools, systems, and even the vendors we use to see the success that we do. And the third bonus is the top 100 best performing keywords pack, which will give you the exact keywords we use to target motivated sellers online using PPC ads. The fourth bonus is our contracts bundle for wholesaling and renting real estate, which will give you access to all the contracts we use in the field to execute all different types of transactions. After that is the Investors Quick Analysis Calculator and Offer Tool, which will allow you to quickly calculate whether a deal is an actual deal and will allow you to create an offer automatically from those calculations. This is a lot of bonuses that I said. I'm just going to keep going down the list. Number 6 is the Investors Daily Success Tracker, which is a tracker you can use to ensure you are taking the right actions day in and day out to reach your financial goals in real estate. And the last bonus is the Wholesalers Template for Quick Assignment Cash, which will give you the templates we use to present our wholesale deals professionally and efficiently to our buyers. Whew, that is a bundle. So it's a mouthful. You get all of those bonuses for free when you download the ebook. All we charge is the admin cost to run the show. So if you're interested in the ebook and the bonus bundle, head on over to the website at therealestateinvestingclub.com. Click on Get the Ebook Bundle at the top of the page to take advantage of that deal. And with that said, I hope you have a fantastic day, an even better week. Keep rocking real estate, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.